Okay, so you want to start working remotely, but you have no idea where to begin? I get this question constantly, especially since I've been promoting the digital nomad visa nonstop. But look, when I started remote work back in 2015, I had to take a massive pay cut and literally rebuild my career from scratch. But you know what? 10 years later, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So if you're serious about making this transition, let me walk you through exactly how to get started. Hello everyone, in this video I am sharing my complete guide to breaking into remote work, the platforms I use, the mistakes I made, and the strategies that actually work. This is based on 10 years of real experience, so stick around because I'm going to be completely honest with you about what it really takes. So let me start with my own journey because I want you to understand that this wasn't easy for me either. When I left my corporate job in 2015 to travel to South America, I transitioned to remote work, basically to help me sustain a travel lifestyle. Yes, I was one of those people who quit their jobs to travel the world. By the way, it's important to know that remote work is a totally different ballgame from corporate. So not everything I learned in my previous job applied. I literally had to start from scratch. Anyway, when I got started with remote work, I had to accept a huge pay cut. And if I remember correctly, my first remote work salary was around 500 US dollars per month for a part-time job. And you want to know another challenge? Coming from the East and working across borders meant I had to learn how things are done in the West. There was a lot of unlearning and relearning just to adapt. Not gonna lie, it was frustrating, but it was necessary. So if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, just know that you are not alone. Everyone who's made this transition has been where you are. Now, where to begin? When I first started, I tried several platforms: onlinejobs.ph, Upwork, and FreeUp. I got most of my jobs through onlinejobs.ph, but eventually I had to stay away from that platform. And here's why. They were, or maybe they still are, advertising to businesses or startups abroad that they could get cheap labor from the Philippines. This created a situation where startups could make lowball offers and refuse to pay fair rates to Filipino workers, even when the work exceeded expectations. I experienced this geographical discrimination firsthand, which I discussed in another video. But here's the thing, I still have to mention onlinejobs.ph because if you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, it's unfortunately one of the more accessible platforms. Full disclaimer though, it has been 7 years since I last used it, so I have no idea what it's like now. Now, about Upwork, it had too much competition back in 2015, and I'm sure it's even more competitive now. But you've got nothing to lose, so you can still try looking for jobs there. And then there's FreeUp. It got me a couple of project-based jobs, which was good. Not sure if the platform is as active as it was back then, but again, nothing to lose by creating an account. Now, if you're overwhelmed with all the information available online, here's my advice. Start with skills you already have. If you're good with accounting or marketing, look for bookkeeping jobs and social marketing jobs. Don't overthink it, just use what you've got. What's important is that you get started and gain experience. It's also good to experiment and improve your skills along the way. Here's an important tip. You may not always know what you want, but at least figure out what you don't want. Use deductive reasoning when job hunting because it's easier to filter out jobs you don't like than to magically know your perfect role right away. Okay, let me give you an example. I started with digital marketing and social media marketing because my corporate background was brand management. However, I didn't like it. I also didn't like customer service, so I pivoted and learned to build websites using WordPress and Shopify. This was particularly helpful for me because when I need websites for my own businesses, I can do it on my own instead of hiring someone to do it for me. Once I learned that, I looked for jobs that required me to create websites. I liked it, but I found it really stressful dealing with clients who wanted endless revisions. The back and forth was never ending, so I had to pivot again because it was difficult to sustain and scale. After website building, I transitioned to e-commerce, which was a good move for me, especially when COVID hit. I was fortunate to have a manager who provided learning materials about e-commerce, specifically selling on Amazon. Now, that was 8 years ago, and I've been doing the same thing and more since then. And considering that e-commerce is constantly evolving, I have to keep up with the trends and whatnot. So now, I am learning a lot about other marketplaces that are non-Amazon, about social commerce like TikTok Shop, and soon about live selling. Because you see, this is the importance of continuous learning and improving your skill set if you want to keep working remotely. You need to create your own leverage so that companies come to you, companies pay the rate that you want, and companies view you as an expert and not just a virtual assistant. You need to keep showing up and getting things done with minimal supervision. You have to over-deliver, always. Once you have the leverage and experience, you can start looking for jobs on LinkedIn. This has been the platform I've been using for 7 years whenever I need a new remote job. And even when I'm not looking, I still receive messages from companies asking if I'm open to new opportunities. Again, it's all about leverage. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to avoid LinkedIn until you're experienced. You can reach out and apply to remote jobs on LinkedIn right now and go from there. At this point, use whatever tools or platforms that are available to you. You've got to be aggressive and in a good way and put yourself out there to get what you want. Just keep trying, keep pushing, and keep going. The key is to start somewhere, gain experience, experiment with different roles, and continuously level up your skill. That is how you build a sustainable remote career. Final thought, starting over will test your patience and resilience. It will make you question if transitioning from corporate to remote work is worth it. For me, it was worth it because my love for travel is greater than my love for a corporate job. Climbing the corporate ladder didn't interest me, so I made the leap and went from there. And 10 years later, it was one of the best decisions of my life. And if I had to do it again, I would, no questions asked. So if you're thinking about making this transition, I want you to know that it is possible. It won't be easy, but it's absolutely possible. And that is it. As always, drop a comment below or send me an email if you have any questions. I'd love to hear about your journey or help you get started. And if you found this helpful, please give this video a like and share to whoever is interested about remote work and digital nomad lifestyle. And if you're feeling generous, why not subscribe? See you in the next video and thank you for watching. Hasta luego.